red brake calipers sitting behind the dark graphite wheels of a full-size American family SUV. Chevrolet did not put those there for looks. They put them there because 600 horsepower in a vehicle this size requires a braking system that can handle what the engine creates. This is what happens when America decides to stop being polite about performance SUVs. There is one decision Chevrolet made on the thermal management architecture of this RST's carbon fiber hood that Lamborghini has specifically not replicated at factory level on the Urus. Not because it is technologically out of reach, but because of what it signals about the vehicle's primary mission. I'm going to tell you exactly what that decision is, but only after we have walked every inch of this truck inside and out. Is the Tahoe RST worth $95,000? My answer depends entirely on whether you are buying this as a performance statement that also carries your family of 5, or as a track day vehicle that happens to have 3 rows. Those are genuinely different calculations. I will give you the honest breakdown in the verdict. Here's the roadmap: exterior engineering, interior specification, and powertrain numbers. Then the backstory, because the development brief that produced this RST package did not begin in a standard product planning meeting. It began with a conversation that happened after Lamborghini posted a number that a specific room in Detroit found personally offensive. Stay with me. Everyone who sees this Tahoe RST immediately focuses on the carbon fiber lower bumper, the red pinstripe, or that full-width honeycomb mesh intake. Those are visible decisions. That is not what I want you to look at. The most engineering significant element on this Tahoe RST is those red brake calipers sitting behind the multi-spoke graphite wheels. A 600 horsepower powertrain in a 5,800-pound full-size SUV generates a kinetic energy load at 80 miles per hour that standard Tahoe braking hardware was never calibrated to manage repeatedly without thermal fade. Chevrolet upgraded to a larger rotor diameter and a high-friction pad specifically to handle repeated hard braking cycles, something the standard Tahoe LS trim does not require, and the Lamborghini Urus addresses with ceramic composite rotors at nearly double the price. GM chose a steel solution at factory spec. That is a cost-effective and genuinely capable engineering decision for this platform. Speculative tech number 1: brake thermal isolation architecture. The upgraded caliper mounting integrates a thermal isolation bridge between the caliper body and the knuckle to reduce heat transfer under the wheel bearing under sustained braking loads. The engineering logic: repeated high-energy braking events transfer heat into bearing grease, accelerating bearing wear and reducing steering precision. Isolating that heat path extends both component life and pedal feel consistency. This closes the brake fade durability gap that performance-tuned factory SUVs have accepted as an inherent limitation of their steel rotor specification. The braking system tells you what Chevrolet planned for this vehicle at the limit. The interior tells you what they planned for the other 90% of the time. The front seats are deep navy perforated leather with a 5-channel vertical stitching pattern, a bolstered sport seat design that holds the driver laterally through cornering without the aggressive side bolster intrusion that makes long-distance driving uncomfortable. That seat specification sits closer to what BMW puts in an M Sport X5 than to what a standard Tahoe LT delivers at $20,000 less. 3 sentences, done. The gold-finished Chevy bow tie badge on the perforated leather steering wheel is the correct branding decision for an RST trim positioned as a sport flagship. It visually differentiates from the standard silver bow tie of every other Tahoe trim without requiring a complete wheel redesign. In a real-world scenario where the buyer is sitting in both a standard Tahoe and this RST at the same dealership, that gold badge communicates premium positioning at 0 incremental cost. The Lincoln Navigator does not offer a comparable interior trim differentiation at its base sport specification. Speculative tech number 2: predictive dual-zone preconditioning. The dual-zone climate system uses calendar integration and location data to begin thermal preconditioning the cabin up to 8 minutes before the driver's scheduled departure time. The engineering reasoning: A performance-positioned SUV at $95,000 should not require the driver to sit in thermal discomfort while the climate system catches up. Preconditioning eliminates that lag entirely. This closes the cabin readiness gap that even premium competitors require manual remote start to partially address. Missed the mark? The center console gear selector lacks a physical sport mode button. Performance mode requires navigating the touchscreen secondary display, which is exactly the wrong ergonomic choice for a driver who wants to switch modes before entering a highway on-ramp. The Lamborghini Urus puts dedicated Anima mode selection on a physical steering column switch. That is the correct answer for a performance SUV, and Chevrolet did not match it here. The exterior section is where the full competitive brief behind every decision you've just seen becomes impossible to miss. Here is where this vehicle actually came from. The development brief for the Tahoe RST performance package was not build a sportier version of the standard Tahoe. It was give the buyer who's considering a Lamborghini Urus a factual performance argument for staying in an American dealership at $95,000 instead of walking into a Lamborghini showroom at $230,000. The market event that forced that decision was the 2022 Urus S, Lamborghini's upgraded performance variant that achieved 0 to 60 in 3.3 seconds and immediately received coverage describing it as the performance benchmark every American SUV would have to answer. GM's brief was specific. Develop a factory performance specification for the Tahoe RST that closes the 0 to 60 gap below 4.5 seconds while maintaining the full-size 3-row family utility that no Urus can offer at any price. The brief was not make the Tahoe faster. It was make the Tahoe RST a vehicle the Urus buyer has to actually consider, not dismiss. Every carbon fiber panel, every red caliper, every performance system flows directly from that mandate. The exterior is where that intent is most visible.
Front to rear, here is what this vehicle is. The carbon fiber front bumper with full-width honeycomb mesh lower intake manages cooling airflow for a performance-calibrated V8. Function first, aesthetics follow. The red pinstripe accent running the complete lower body length is a visual delineation between the carbon lower aero package and the body-colored upper panels. It also visually lowers the stance by approximately 2 visual inches without changing ride height. The carbon fiber hood dome sits over a clearance modification for a higher flow intake package. It is not decorative. The dark multi-spoke graphite wheels carry what appears to be a 285-section performance tire with a low-profile sidewall, correct for lateral grip at the limit and consistent with the upgraded brake specification. At the rear, carbon fiber diffuser with matching red pinstripe, quad exhaust with copper-tinted tips, carbon roof spoiler generating modest downforce, RST badge in red on the tailgate. Every exterior element on this RST connects to a functional decision. There is no carbon fiber trim that exists purely for visual effect. And what is under that carbon hood dome is why the Urus conversation is a legitimate one. Engine, 6.2-liter V8, 600 horsepower, 620 foot-pounds of torque, 10-speed automatic, all-wheel drive standard. Those numbers mean 0 to 60 in approximately 4.4 seconds in a vehicle that seats 8 people and carries their luggage. The Lamborghini Urus S runs 3.3 seconds at $135,000 more. Speculative tech number 3, adaptive launch control surface mapping. The system reads surface traction coefficient through wheel speed sensor variance during the pre-launch phase and adjusts initial torque delivery in 12 millisecond increments to maximize grip without wheel spin. The competitor gap it closes. The Ford Expedition's performance variants manage launch torque through a single preset calibration. On a damp surface, that one-size calibration costs measurable grip in the first 60 feet of acceleration. This eliminates the launch inconsistency that single calibration AWS systems produce on variable surface conditions. The Tahoe RST holds a genuine advantage over the Ford Expedition's stealth performance on horsepower output and factory brake specification. Where it narrows, the Lamborghini Urus S still delivers a 0.9 second 0 to 60 advantage and a driving character that no American full-size SUV has fully replicated at any price. Engineering case is complete. The financial case is next.
Now, here's what I actually think. Completely straightforward. The Urus S brief explains every decision you have seen on this vehicle. The red brake calipers, a factory braking answer to the performance gap a 600 horsepower full-size SUV creates at speed. The carbon fiber hood dome, a cooling answer to a performance brief that required the standard 6.2 liter to produce numbers it was not originally calibrated for. The gold bow tie of a steering wheel, a brand differentiation answer to a buyer who is deciding between this showroom and a Lamborghini dealership. Whether Chevrolet succeeded depends entirely on what the buyer values. If the ability to carry 8 people and their gear at 600 horsepower with full factory warranty at $95,000 is the criteria, this vehicle makes an argument that is difficult to dismiss. If the 3.3 seconds 0 to 60 and the Lamborghini badge in a valet line are the criteria, Chevrolet has not closed that gap and probably never intended to.
Pricing for the Tahoe RST in this full carbon performance specification runs approximately $88,000 to $98,000 depending on option packages. The Lamborghini Urus S starts at $230,000. Faster to 60, more exotic driving character, more Italian theater, but seats 5, carries no meaningful cargo, and cannot be serviced at a Chevy dealer in Tulsa on a Tuesday morning. The base Tahoe LS starts at $58,000, meaning the RST premium is $30,000 to $40,000 over entry. That premium buys the performance brake package, the carbon aero kit, the 600 horsepower powertrain calibration, and a factory warranty covering every specification. Factory RST sport configurations hold residual value at 48 to 60 months better than standard Tahoe trims because the performance designation creates a separate used market demand pool, buyers who specifically seek the RST specification and will not accept a substitution. If you plan a 4 to 5 year hold with a trade-in exit, the RST premium is recoverable through that demand separation. An aftermarket modified standard Tahoe is not valued the same way by the next buyer. The factory RST badge and brake package matter. If you need 600 horsepower in a 3-row American SUV with a factory warranty and a Chevy dealer network behind it, this is the most coherent package available at this price point. If 0 to 60 in 3.3 seconds and Italian brand prestige in a valet line are the primary criteria, the Lamborghini Urus S gives you both at $135,000 more and a completely different ownership experience. What this vehicle earns its premium through is not the carbon fiber or the horsepower number alone. It is the coherence of a factory performance specification. Brakes, aero, powertrain, and cabin in a 3-row American SUV that does not require the owner to choose between performance and utility. That combination, at this price, does not exist anywhere else.
Those red brake calipers that open this video, now that you've seen the full picture, you understand they are not a cosmetic upgrade or a styling choice. They are the most honest visual evidence of what Chevrolet actually committed to when they decided to answer the Urus S brief. If you have driven both a Tahoe RST performance package and a Lamborghini Urus S back-to-back, I want to know specifically, does the Urus S driving character at $135,000 more justify the premium over what you just watched, or is a significant portion of that gap purely the badge and the badge alone? That is the question every RST buyer is actually wrestling with. Drop your honest call below. Next video, 2027 Cadillac Escalade ESV. Same GM platform DNA, completely different brief, and a $150,000 argument that might reframe everything you just decided about where American luxury actually sits. Subscribe so you do not miss it.